So I'll address the elephant in the room, the suit. You're welcome. So to start things out here, I want to read you guys some stats. So there are 2.2 billion children in the world, and just slightly less than half of them, at 1 billion, live in poverty. And a third of all poor people in developing countries, so 1 out of every 3 poor people living in a developing nation, is a child aged 0 to 12. So, total disclaimer here, I'm not reading out these stats to put you in a place of guilt and fear so that you'll go give money to charity. That doesn't work. That is really schemy to me. I think giving should come from the heart. It shouldn't come from a place of fear. The one thing I do not want you guys to do tonight is go home and to avoid crying yourselves to sleep, you're going to donate a whole bunch of money to charity. Don't do that. Having said that though, Christmas is awesome. You can tell, I love it. I'm one of those people, as soon as Remembrance Day is over, I completely just throw myself into it. And to me, Christmas represents, especially here in Canada, we're very fortunate that it's kind of a it's a wonderful, you could say magical, and it's a time of, there's lots of giving going on. It's a time of giving. You have the Salvation Army guys with their kettles and their jingling bells, that's really easy. Or you get those letters in the mail where it's like, they send you the stickers with your name on them, you're not sure how they got it, and your address, and you're not sure what to do with them, but at least you know you have some interest from a charity. So if you want to give, it's not hard. We're very fortunate here in Canada. But the problem with giving as students is that we're students, basically. I know for myself, when it comes to Christmas, I can maybe go in with my brothers and we all buy a gift for my parents, and I go to the dollar store and buy something for someone else. That's about it. That's the extent of my Christmas purchases, because I know come January, the rest of my bank account goes to the university. So that's the problem we're in. So how do we fix it? We need something that's cost effective, fun and creative, because school's stressful. Why not do something fun and creative? And it's a way to give back at Christmas time. So I'd like to talk to you guys about this charity. It's called Operation Christmas Child. I'm not sure if any of you have ever heard of it before, but what it is it's based out of the States, and they have a headquarters in Ontario and then one in Calgary. And what they do is every Christmas they collect thousands of shoe boxes from schools, churches, full of gifts and stuff, and like school supplies, stuff like that, and they take them to developing countries and give them to children that don't necessarily know what Christmas is, or they don't really have a great Christmas to begin with, from the situation that they're living in. So to help you guys kind of get your foot in the door with that, and kind of understand what Operation Christmas Child is and how you can give back into it, I kind of come up with 3 steps or 3 questions that will lead you from how to get involved. I've already explained what it is, so how to get involved, what getting involved looks like, and then what to do with your shoebox once you're done. So the first question is, how do I do it? Well, first of all, find a shoebox. It's almost final season. If you need a little bit of retail therapy, go buy some shoes. You've eliminated the whole cost-effective part of things, but you have a shoebox. Another thing is just go to a shoe store, ask them if they have any empty boxes in the back. I'm sure they have lots and they'll be happy to give you one. Or just go to the dollar store. You can get plastic containers. They're reusable, but they're about shoebox shape, and I think they're like $1.25 or something like that. Really, really easy to get your hands on. And then second, you need to pick a child. So you pick boy or girl, and then you go ages 2 to 4, 5 to 9, or 10 to 14. And there's no one gender or one age category that does better than the other, so don't worry about trying to figure out which one is underrepresented. They take the gifts where they're needed, and if for whatever reason you don't want to pick a category, you just say a tactic box for a boy, they will put that shoebox in with whichever age group is maybe short that year or something. But it's literally like there's not that much thought that has to go into this. And then third, you fill your shoebox. So what does filling your shoebox look like? What do you do with that? Well, start with a wow item, like a suit, like a wow pack. So this is things like a toy. If you're gonna pack like a ball or something, make sure you pack a pump to go with it. Or you could pack clothes, you could make clothes even, or shoes. However, if you are gonna do that, keep in mind of the age group you have and try to pick like an average size. And don't worry if it doesn't fit the child. The people that distribute the boxes will figure out a child that can fit into those clothes, or they'll do a swap with somebody. Again, little thought needs to go into this. And then second, one that the charity really stresses, and I can't stress enough, is school supplies. So these children in these developing countries, if they are fortunate enough to go to school, lots of them don't have access to the basic resources like we do. You can understand how difficult it would be to learn something when you can't write it down, or you don't have paper or you ran out of paper 2 weeks ago and that was your supply for the whole school year. It would be really difficult to try to get yourself out of that developing country and onto a better future. So packing things like notebooks, pens, pencils, markers, you're really helping advance their education, but you're also giving them a creative outlet. I know for me, if I never had access to markers growing up, I probably would have died. I mean, I'm not artistic now, but it's fun to just put color to paper and see what happens, right? So you're really helping these kids out with that. Having said that though, there are some do not include items, and those are things like toy guns, army men. Lots of these impoverished nations are war-torn, and so by sending one of these items, you could trigger the child, so to speak. And so, I mean, there's a little bit of leniency. However, by that I mean, if you give them a little like bouncy ball from the dollar store, it has Star Wars characters on it, and there's a stormtrooper holding a gun. It's a little bit different, but what the good thing about that is they have like a screening process. So after your box is sent to their headquarters, they have lots of volunteers that go through each box, they make sure everything's not going to fall out when it gets shipped and it's neatly organized. And if they see that ball in there and they know it's going to a war-torn country, like, you know what, we'll leave this one out, we'll put it in this box that's going over here because that has less of a chance of triggering a child or something like that. But things like army men, toy guns are big no-no. They don't accept them at all. So now, you found your shoebox, you did your retail therapy, you found your shoebox. You found what you're going to put in your shoebox, you went to the dollar store, you found stuff around the house, your mother's a teacher or something, you went and got pencils from her supply closet without her knowing. So now what do you do with it? The easy thing here is you can take it to a drop-off location near you. You just go to Operation Christmas Child, type it into Google. When you get to their website, it will say drop-off locations, you type in your postal code, you're good to go. However, this speech was written during the time of collection week, and as of Sunday, it is over. Yeah, and so what I was able to find is that their loophole is they accept boxes all year. The unfortunate thing is only on you have to ship them yourselves. So it goes by weight, so if you decide you want to pack a shoebox and ship it yourself, I can't tell you if it's going to fit within that cost-effective realm or if you're going to have to pay your tuition away, right? Who knows? So, and then also you can pack your shoebox online. This is one I really encourage you guys to do. It's really easy, you just go to their website, it says pack a shoebox online, and it gives you two options. One is pack the shoebox for me, which it just gives you a page, you fill out your information, credit card number, bye-bye, it's gone. Or you can do pack my shoebox online, and it gives you, it's like a giant catalog, and you pick things. The good news is that both of these packages start at $40. However, if you do pack it yourself, since there is stuff you can add yourself, it gives you optional items like a wow item, so a stuffed animal is $6. So you're going to increase that to $46. And if you want to add extra pens or pencils, I believe there's a little bit of extra charge depending on if you want to add extra to that. So now you've got your shoebox, you filled it up, you know where to send it to. What next? Well, that's kind of it. That's about as much as I can give you guys to do. It's packing the shoebox and sending it away to help these children. However, one thing I really want to encourage us to do, and it's a kind of a challenge I'm going to incorporate for the next week. I'm not going to hound you guys over it again, not the fear or guilt thing. But for the next week, I'm going to have a grocery bag in my backpack, and I'll be collecting supplies from you guys if you want to give to Operation Christmas Child. And what I'm going to do is I have the shoebox at my house. I just don't want to lug it back and forth. If we can fill it within the week, I will pay the delivery charge myself and get it delivered to Calgary for us. I think that's pretty doable. Or pack it online. Less thought goes into it. You literally just credit card number, fill it out, you're good to go. It's really easy. So guys, I really encourage you to give back this Christmas. I know, again, it's hard as students. Operation Christmas Child is a great way to keep it cost effective and also keep it fun while still helping out a really great charity. And just keep in mind, Christmas isn't always the same for all of us. It's a time of hardship, and it's a time that's not really magical like it is for us here in Canada. So I encourage you guys to pack a shoebox, because I believe you can change one child's Christmas a shoebox at a time. Thank you.